You already know what time it is, man. We are back here to search some more game on the ground for them rounds. So just get out the pound and are ready for the next round. So with that being said, man, we finna jump into this episode, man. Persistence is the key. Say what's good, man. Persistence is the key to doing anything. Persistence ties into all types of different things, man. Everything that you do, you got to be persistent at it. What's good, Kenzo? You got to be persistent at everything that you do. Because there's going to be times that you want to give up, man. There's going to be times where you want to just step back and just say, man, screw this. I'm not doing this no more. Or this ain't going to work, man. Or you just get tired. You get tired. You like doing something, but you get tired. So you take a break from it. Like you got to keep going. You got to be persistent at whatever it is that you're doing. Because the reason why is if you're not persistent at it, you're not going to stay consistent with something that you ain't persistent with. And if you don't stay consistent with it, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it, and then it's going to fall through. Give me a second. Excuse me. There it goes. You got to stay persistent at it, because if you don't, it's going to fall through. Like if you're trying to start a business or something, you got to stay persistent at starting that business, man. You have to stay working hard, man. You have to stay on it all the time. You know, life is all about hard work. There are times here and there in between that you get to take a second and just and take in a deep breath and enjoy the view, or look back at how far you came. But other than that, man, it's all about hard work. You got to keep putting in that work. You got to keep staying on time, on task, on everything, man, because nothing's going to happen that you don't do. Nothing that you don't do will happen. You have to put in that work. You have to make stuff happen. You have to put your hands to work. You have to put your feet to work, your mind. You have to use your whole body to make things happen, man. And a lot of people don't understand that. That's like some people who think that going to the gym, they work out their arms like once a week. They think their arms are going to get huge. No, you got to consistently work out your arms every day throughout the week. Your biceps, triceps, shoulders, forearms, everything. You got to consistently work out if you want to get your arms big. People think going once or twice a week is going to get them to be in shape. No, it's going to take a whole lot longer, and it's not going to do it the way that you want to do it. So you have to do it the way that you want it to be done. Otherwise, it's not going to happen, bro. And you got to be patient with it too. You got to be patient with the persistence, because it's going to be a lot of times when you feel like it's not working, when you feel like you could be doing something better. You're going to have so many different times where you end up flopping. Your business flops on one day. Maybe for a whole week it flops. Maybe for a whole month it flops. Maybe for a whole year it even flops. Or your social media, your Twitch, your whatever it is, bro. Whatever it is you try and do. There's going to be a lot of times when you flop and you're going to feel like giving up, man. You're going to feel like, man, this ain't it. That's when you have to be patient with it. Patience and persistence go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. When you're tired, just be persistent with it. Be patient with it. Be consistent. When you beat down, be patient. Be persistent. When you don't feel like crawling, be patient and be persistent, man. You have to remain within that mindset, just looking straight. Quit looking around, quit looking down, quit looking up. Just look straight down the road that you're traveling down, man. Or if you're climbing up that mountain, man, just keep looking up at where you're trying to climb. Because a lot of people, they get caught up in looking around, that they forget they still have a whole long way up to go. They forget that they still have a long ways up ahead to go. They're not even halfway up the mountain yet. And they're looking around like, dang, man, I did this, I did that, I should take a break. But you got a whole lot longer. What the heck? And the dude driving with his trunk open. But, no, man, you still got a whole long ways ahead of you to climb up that mountain. You can't get caught up in where you're at now. You got to keep going. Just like on that path. Some people, they take the first, 100 steps and they turn around. They look at how far they came when they ain't came very far at all. They get caught up and like, well, maybe I should take a break. Maybe I should do this. I've already taken 100 steps down this path, instead of just looking straight. Now, it's okay to look back at every once in a while, to see how far you've come, but you got to look right back in front of you and keep walking down that straight path. You got to keep going down that path, man. Don't get caught up in the I came this far, I came that far, I should take a break. Don't get caught up in that mindset, because once you do, it's going to bleed into everything else. And when it bleeds into everything else, when you start getting lazy, you start getting comfortable, you start thinking, oh man, well, I just only got to do a little bit of this and that, and then guess what, I'm good. Nah. Keep the same consistency in what it is that you're doing. Keep the same consistency in what it is that you're doing, bro. And stay persistent and patient with it. And eventually it's going to take off. But you got to be patient with it. Patience is the biggest factor in it. Patience is the biggest factor in life, period. You want something, all good things are worth waiting for. But it's not just going to happen because you wait for it. That's the thing. People think, oh man, well, if I just wait for it, it'll come to me eventually. That's like people saying, man, I hope $1 million falls in my lap. They wait for $1 million to fall in their lap, but guess what? It never falls in their lap. They don't get rich just from sitting there doing nothing but waiting. People who are rich, I almost said witch. People who are rich, they waited for it, but they were doing things every single day to make it happen while they were waiting for it. They were patient with it. Through the times that they felt like giving up. Through the times where they were tired, where they felt like this wasn't going to work out, when they flopped. Guess what? They stayed patient with it, and they stayed persistent with it. And now look at where they're at. They got huge bank accounts, huge houses, luxurious cars. They dress in suits every single day. And that's all because they were patient and persistent. When they couldn't walk, they crawled. When they couldn't run, they walked. And that's what you got to do, man. You can't give up. You cannot give up, man. I know there's a whole lot of people out there, man. This ain't gonna work. I've talked to people who, decided they want to try and do something. So they do it for like a month, 2 months at most, and then they give up. The next time I see them, so how's this going? Oh man, well, it didn't work out, so I just stopped, man. I just decided to get a regular job in the Matrix. Like, come on, bro. No. See, people think, oh man, well, I got to get an income, so I got to get a job. That's going to be my income. The thing is, that job don't supposed to be your career unless you want it to, unless you just want to be a Matrix slave. That job is meant to be a placeholder while you're building up the career that you want to chase. You don't supposed to stay at that job forever. It's just a placeholder for what you're really trying to do in life. It's just there giving you a steady income so you can work on the side and build up what you want to do. You might want to open up your own business so you get a job, but you stack that money up. That way on the side, you can do what you need to do, learn what you need to learn, start what you need to start to build that business. You want to be a mechanic, open up your own shop, get a job, stack that money up on the side, do what you're supposed to do. That's just how it is, man. People treat their jobs like it's their lives. It's like, nah, bro, it's just a placeholder. It's not where you're meant to be in your life. It's just a temporary thing so that you don't suffocate, so that you don't fall behind like a leaf in the wind. It's like, how can I say this? What's a good way I can put this up? I can't really think of a good time. It's like, think of it like you're ice climbing, right? Rock climbing, whatever. Your harness. Your job is your harness. It keeps you on the wall, keeps you from falling, keeps you from losing your life until you get to the top. Once you get to the top, you take that harness off because you're at the top now. You don't need that harness no more. Once you get to the top with your career, you quit your job because you don't need that job no more. That's how it is. So yeah, man, persistence and patience is the key. You got to remain persistent. You got to remain patient with it. Through the bad times, through the good times, through the no times, when there's nothing going on, when there's nothing happening, you got to remain patient. You got to remain persistent. Otherwise, nothing in life will work the way you want it to. So that being said, man, I got to get up on that here. I got some other things I got to take care of. So make sure y'all share with your friends, your families, your mummies, your aunties, your grannies, and everybody else that y'all know. And I'm out of here. Deuces.